Hi, and welcome to another episode of Sound Off with System One, where every week we like to talk about hot topics, tips, and trends in the career industry. Today we have a wonderful topic. Well, I say that every week, but it's a really fun topic. We're talking about developing career goals. So we have our expert panel here. Can't wait to start that discussion. But first, I'd like to tell you real quick, as I always do every week, a little bit about System One. System One is a leading provider of specialized, highly technical outsourced services and workforce solutions to critical infrastructure, technology, life sciences, and government sectors. Founded more than 40 years ago, today System One operates in over 50 locations, putting more than 9,000 people to work in the US, Canada, and the UK. So again, thank you for my expert panel being here to talk about this fun topic that we haven't talked about, I think, since we started this series. Before we delve into it, though, I'd like to make introductions. First of all, as you're joining the broadcast, please drop a comment letting us know where you're joining us from and the industry you're in. Our Director of Marketing, Rich Weed, will be assisting those comments and replying to you, and he'll be dropping our contact information as well as hot jobs available that we discussed during this broadcast. Also, I just want to make a shout out to Tracy McSheffrey in our marketing department. She is our senior brand manager, and she's the one to make sure this whole broadcast runs smoothly, and we love her for it. So thank you, Tracy. Even though you're not here, you're here with us. To start introductions, I am Karen Callahan. I am the communications manager for System One. Our marketing department, our marketing office is in Tampa. I'm coming to you from Ormond Beach, Florida. And I do live very close to the beach. I love long walks on the beach. And one thing about having long walks on the beach here in Volusia County is that you have to be careful about what sea critters wash ashore. So oftentimes when I'm walking or running, I make sure I don't step on jellyfish. Well, what I found out about 9 months ago is that we have a lot of Portuguese man-o-war that sometimes or oftentimes wash upon the shores. I did not realize that Portuguese man-o-war are not jellyfish. I thought they were. They look like jellyfish, right? In fact, though, they're actually a bunch of other organisms, like tiny microscopic organisms that build up one seemingly larger organism. So it's basically like a boat filled with sailors, right? So then you've got like that upper flotilla device, which is a bunch of like microscopic organisms that are like, yo, we're the boat. And then there's like tentacles, right? That have like the organisms that are like dedicated to prey and preying and reproduction and digestion. So it's basically a colony of clones. It's right out of Star Wars. So I find that fascinating that if I step on one, number one, it'll hurt. Number two, I'll end up in a hospital. But it's not just one thing that got me. It was like a bunch of sea critters all in one. I find it fascinating. It's almost like Pirates of the Caribbean and the Black Pearl. But I digress. My fun facts sometimes get a little away from me. And I'm sure there's an allegory in there for like team collaboration or something. I just don't have time to figure it out yet, not for this topic. But I will take this to Jennifer. Jennifer, why don't you introduce yourself and let us know a little fun fact about yourself, and also please tell us the hot job that you have available.
Great. Thanks, Karen. That really was a cool fact. I was very intrigued, very invested in what you were going over. So I love it. Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Novojoski. So I'm the recruiting director of Joulé's Life Sciences recruiting team, where we focus on contract to hire, and direct hire staffing, specifically for positions within the life sciences industry. So this encompasses both the scientific and the clinical space. I've been with Joulé for 16 years, and I'm actually based out of the Edison, New Jersey office. So excited to be a part of this conversation today. I think it's a really great topic. Fun fact about me is I'm actually going to be going to Disney World very shortly with my family. So, and looking at today's topic about setting goals, I thought, maybe I can somehow work that into what I'm doing when I go to Disney World. So I'm a big fan of Disney World snacks and all the fun drinks that they offer. So I have made a roadmap so that mom can have fun too, of all the snack and drink stands that I want to hit up as we have our vacation planned out.
Absolutely.
So,
very fun.
Really So today I'd like to spotlight a really great opportunity that we have with a client of ours that's a global leader in the medical device space. So this job is for a quality control analyst. The job details are actually posted on the screen down below. The client actually focuses on advancement of patient care worldwide with their innovative specialized diagnostics and their data management solutions. So candidates ideally should have a bachelor's degree in chemistry, medical technology, or any other similar life sciences degree. Ideally, 1 year of lab experience, specifically with pipetting, pH testing, reagents. The cool thing about this is they're really open to candidates that just have academic lab experience. If you have industry experience, great, that's a plus. If not, if you're a recent graduate or you just haven't had an opportunity to get into the industry, but you have that skill set, this could be a really great opportunity for you. And it's located in the Orangeburg, New York area. The job itself, you're actually going to be performing automated and manual assays for hemostasis, raw materials, controls, and reagents such as plasma screening, and doing some final QC testing. So if this is something that you're interested in, let's connect and I can make sure to put you in touch with the right recruiter who can talk to you about setting goals to apply for this position or whatever other opportunities that we have.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jennifer. And Jennifer's job information is being dropped on our comments section. Thank you, Rich. And he's replying to everybody who is commenting as well. New jobs are constantly added every day. You can grab that job ID number and take it to jobs.system1.com and see Jennifer's exciting opportunity. Okay, Tony, you are up, man. Your turn.
Yeah, thanks, Karen. Thanks, Jennifer. So my name is Tony Webster. I'm a business development manager here with System One, based out of Tampa, Florida. I have worked with System One for about 3 years, 7 years, working in the industrial and engineering staffing industry. Fun fact about myself, actually, not until last year was the first time that I had ever actually traveled west of the Mississippi. And I actually only went to Missouri, so I didn't go that far. So I've actually never left the United States, but I do have a close friend of mine who is an officer in the Navy, and he's stationed in Italy. So next spring or summer, I aim to actually leave the United States for the first time and take a trip to Italy and see him and travel around. So that'll be my fun fact. But not really a reason to leave Florida. You know, Jennifer's coming to visit. You know, I got Disney right down the road, so I stay here and spend most of my time. So. But so in terms of the job that I'd like to highlight today, working in more focused on the industrial world, we have a project that we landed for maintenance mechanics up in Shakopee, Minnesota, for a large client of ours in a manufacturing facility. It's one of the largest glass producers and container producers in the country. They have a need for heavy industrial maintenance mechanics, looking for about 2 to 3 years of experience. With a true wrenching background, with installation of new equipment, the repairs, the troubleshooting, a little electrical knowledge can always help. Pneumatic, hydraulics, anything in that realm. Working in a heavy industrial plant in the maintenance department, repairing their equipment is going to be a good fit for this role. There are multiple openings. They're moving very quickly. This is a hot need. I'm sure that anyone that's ever worked in that type of industry knows that if you don't have people fixing the machinery, things can go bad pretty quick. So it is a hot job, and we're looking for great talent. Feel free to reach out anytime. We'd be happy to point you in the right direction.
Absolutely. That is a wonderful hot job, Tony. Thank you so much. Please, if you're interested in that job, jobs.system1, throw in that job ID number. The job ID number is being dropped in the comments section. And link with Tony. His contact information is on here as well. So please link with Jennifer or Tony for any interest in jobs or similar jobs that you might be interested in. All right, so we're going to take a deep dive into our subject matter today, developing career goals, why it's important to do it, how to implement it. And I am not the expert, but I know how to connect with them. So I'm going to start with the experts talking. Jennifer, why don't you lead us off with this discussion?
Awesome. Thanks, Karen. So again, I think this is a really great topic, and goals are so important, not only in your professional life, but also your personal life too. And I think the key thing is to really pinpoint, thinking about what do you want to achieve. Then it's a matter of like, how do you create goals, and then creating a roadmap for yourself on how to achieve the goals that you're going after. Sometimes the hardest part in any goal setting journey is really just getting started. So I think it's always a good idea, do your own self assessment. Think about where you're at, what makes you happy, what environment do you want to be in, what are your strengths and weaknesses. Really identify what it is that you're going after. Another component to that is write down your goals. And I am talking like old school pen and paper. This way you have clearly defined goals right in front of you every single day, just to help remind you of what you're looking to do. Every day I start my day with writing a list of what I want to accomplish for that day. And I think it's just, I found myself every day, I kept adding more and more that I didn't get finished from the following day, for the previous day. So if you chunk it down into smaller goals, that really helped me stay on task with what I was looking to do. But it was that pen and paper, that list right in front of me every day, reminding me of what I needed to get done. I'm also a really big fan of embracing the SMART methodology when you're creating your goals. Make sure they're specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and there's a time element to that. That's going to help you stay focused with it. Most importantly, I think it's really a good idea to enlist an accountability partner. Again, this can pertain to your personal and professional life, but as you're coming up with career goals, you really want to surround yourself with people that will encourage you to be the best version of yourself. That person could be your manager, a close colleague, a mentor, a spouse, a friend, somebody who can really give you an outside perspective that maybe isn't in the same job that you're in. And I think if you put some of these practices into play, that's going to really help you get started and continue on your journey as you create different career goals.
That is great insight, Jennifer. Excellent. Do you have anything to add to that, Tony?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Karen. Jennifer, that was great. Kind of to tailor off what Jennifer was saying, she mentioned that it's important to establish goals not only in your career but in your personal life, and that's 100% true. And a lot of these practices that we're discussing can relate to both. But in your career, it's going to be it's always a long time depending on the way you look at it. But the way I always addressed it is I set a long-term goal and I pick a specific thing that's measurable, trackable, and I can look and reflect back, how I'm impacting this on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly, monthly. And, whether it's I'm looking at a promotion or I want to increase my productivity, I pick that specific goal. And as Jennifer mentioned, it's going to take a lot of small steps to get there. And she mentioned, connecting yourself with someone like an accountability partner. I've always utilized something like a mentorship program. You can really lean on somebody that has seen success in their career, been successful in the past, and, kind of ask them along the way and reflect together. Hey, what did you do to get here? What are some of the steps I can take? And surround yourself with that person, and then, rely on other folks in your network as well. Leveraging your network and surrounding yourself with successful people in order to obtain those goals is great. And then, utilize the feedback with your coworkers, your boss, your mentor, your accountability partner, as Jennifer mentioned, and ask for feedback. Hey, how do you, this is what I'm targeting. Share that information, share that goal with them, and then ask them, hey, how do you think I'm doing? How am I reflecting? How am I measuring up to the things I'm trying to do? What can I improve on? Where am I exceeding? So, that's kind of what I've always done. Pick a specific goal, work with a mentor who's been successful, and then ask for feedback from your coworkers, your colleagues, and your boss, and just and hopefully you can maintain a clear path and get to the end goal.
I love it. I love everything y'all are saying. Like from Jennifer talking about putting things in writing, I'm such a big believer in putting things in writing, because that's one way of manifesting, right? Your future. It's almost like if you write it down, just like if you're going to write down in your calendar, I'm going to a doctor's appointment at 11 o'clock on Friday, you're going to go, right? If you put down 2 weeks from now, I'm going to write 2 paragraphs on my next book, you're going to do that because it's written down, and writing down does manifest. And I love Tony's, what you said about metrics too, because if you kind of focus on key metrics, both qualitative and quantitative, that you want to work on in the future, that's just a great way to set your goals. It's not just, I want to, I'm going to be simple here. I want to read a book. I want to read 3 chapters on Monday. I'm going to read the full book by, the end of Friday. So it's putting qualitative and quantitative measures both in in career and your personal life. So I just love the way you guys tied that in there. Do you have anything else to add to that, Jennifer?
Yeah. So Tony, you had a lot of really great points, and you too, Karen. Tony, the one thing you had said about was, getting feedback from people in your network. I agree with that 100%. I think the next step to that is being open to the feedback. I think sometimes we want to say, yes, I'm open to feedback, but then sometimes you hear some things and it's the hard truth a little bit, right? So I think being open to the feedback is important, but I also think being patient, right? You have to be patient with yourself. You have to be patient with the process. If you are working in an environment where you have the space to develop and to learn new things, don't rush it. Allow yourself to really dig your heels in, wrap your hands around what the work that you're doing. So that way, as you move to that next level, whatever it is, whether it's something new or the role that you're in now, you're just going to be able to keep building on that. And that's really where the development comes from. That's where achieving your goals is going to come from. So, as you work on your goals, whether it's like like I said, a current job, applying for something new, hitting a specific quota, change can feel scary, right? And trying new things may seem, you're trying new things, unfamiliar things. You may feel like, well, maybe you're not so sure of doing that, but you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that was said by one of the leaders on our team. Yesterday, we had an internal staff meeting, and we were actually talking about goals now through the end of the year and what we were looking to accomplish as an organization. So one of our leaders had said that you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that really resonated with me because in reality, he's absolutely right. That's where the growth will come from. Having that mindset is going to help you achieve those goals.
And I believe the leader's name was
Mike Sousa. Michael Sousa, thank you for that brilliant insight. But yeah, that was like really powerful. And he said that. I was like, wow, that really does make sense.
Yes, Mike Sousa is a great leader in our life sciences area, our Joulé, and I'm really excited. We're going to give a shout out to him because that actually gave me goosebumps when he said that during a meeting. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That, I mean, it's something that we know and we've all heard before, but every time I hear it, it does. You're right. That's the only way to set yourself up for accomplishments is to be able to do something that makes you uncomfortable. My daughter was in a pageant once, and she's not into pageants at all, but she was in a pageant for school, and she's very artistic, very goth-like. But I said, honey, why are you going into this pageant? And she's like, because I want to read my literature, and it makes me uncomfortable, and I like to do things that scare me. And I love that
Awesome.
that I know, and she's 16, 17. So I feel like even with us as adults, we can learn from our children, which is like, do things that scare you. Do things that make you uncomfortable. It just makes you a better person in the end. And I'm only saying Mike Sousa's name one more time because I would love to have him here on System One and talk about all life sciencey stuff. So I'm just going to make a call out to him too. Tony, do you have anything to add to that as well?
Yeah, no, Jennifer, I think that was great. I always tell people, don't be afraid to don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone and set an aggressive goal. And the other thing Jennifer mentioned was patience. When you set an aggressive goal, it might not always seem like the easiest path. So you're going to have to understand that there's patience involved, throughout that path. You're going to have to lean on some of your partners for help sometimes. But setting an aggressive goal will, one, teach you, hey, once it's obtained and you reach that goal, you prove yourself that you can do what you set out to do. And two, you're going to learn a lot along the way. And like Jennifer mentioned, that's going to take patience. It's going to take teamwork. And it's going to take a little self-motivation and drive as well. So you're going to learn a lot along the way. And then hopefully once you accomplish that goal, you feel pretty good at the end because you did get out of your comfort zone and it all worked out. So that was great.
I love it. That's been really great advice. You two are always awesome when it comes to advice and discussions here. So we've learned a lot about career development. If you have further questions, please connect with any of us here on LinkedIn. We're about out of time, so I just wanted to remind people to visit us at if you're looking for a career. Jobs.system1.com. If you're a hiring manager or company looking for top talent, please visit us at system1.com, where we offer outsourced services and workforce solutions for everybody. Also, if you're not watching right now on YouTube or instead you're watching on LinkedIn, I just want to remind people that all of these episodes of Sound Off with System 1 are on our YouTube channel. So you can go to YouTube, System 1, and we have interview tips, resume advice, client success stories, leadership insight, workplace culture videos. It's great. We have wonderful leaders who are in all those videos there. We would love to have you as a subscriber. And as always, please visit us every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time to learn more about hot jobs, trends, tips in the career industry. Next week, we will be talking about your personal brand. So that should be really exciting. So thank you, everybody. And thank you to our panel. Thank you.